All right. It's fucking internet. All right. First and foremost, I want to give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Basri Rashad, Basri Kakudash. Second, I give them honor to Apostle Jim Nasser 12. To my peace, blessing, salutation, and hopefully left out there. Those really be edified. This is Chicago Route from GMS, Virginia. I'm going to go right in. So, a deception among slaves, how Esau used our people to deceive other slaves, and even to this day. Nothing has changed. It's actually gotten worse because one thing for certain, our people don't even see ourselves as slaves anymore. Our people are completely lost, and they don't know who their enemy is. Why? Because the gift have destroyed the heart. Esau has given our people a false entitlement to this place, and pretty much um, gave us a heavy, strong delusion that we are a part of this society. Um, and that had to do with a lot with that integration. That prior, we knew at one point we were segregated, and we knew that the so-called white man hated us. But even then, even during slavery in towns prior to the times we were integrated with the so-called white man, we had a lot of our people which would take roles and pretty much be selfish and have self-ambition, and think for themselves. Pretty much sold out and pretty much took the became a traitor. That's pretty much what these celebrities are. These niggas that parade themselves on television, parade themselves as if you're a leader, and they all come in the form of this godly presence or bishop or this divine entity, right? But it all you just come in the name of Christianity or just wickedness, man. And just the power that you saw in the script that Esau gives you to enact on your people. So it says, were black slaves in America used to deceive other slaves? It said, yes. In some cases, enslaved black people in America were used, whether knowingly or unknowingly, by enslavers to deceive or manipulate other enslaved people. This was part of the broader strategy of control within the slave system. Here are a few examples of how that worked, right? Use of enslaved people as drivers or overseers. Some enslaved men were promoted to positions of authority over other enslaved people, known as drivers. While they were still enslaved themselves, they were sometimes rewarded with better living conditions or small privileges for keeping others in line. And it was a term called meritorious. Damn, I think it was mega. Meg, I can't forget. I forgot the damn word. I think it was the Megatorium Award or reward, something like that. Basically, if it was a reward, a gift that the slave did a good job, they would got rewarded. It was a fake reward, right? Enslavers often use these individuals to enforce rules, administer punishment, or pass on false promises to keep others obedient. And one thing you for certain see today is these celebrities that are so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, because they do the things that they do behind closed doors, and then what do? They come on that pulpit, and then they give you a speech as if you can obtain it as well through so-called hard effort. And if you work hard and give and sacrifice and put your all into it, you become like him. It's a goddamn lie, right? If it was so easy, majority of our people would be, in the upper what's that fucking word? The upper epsilon, if I'm not mistaken, whatever. But spreading false promises or misinformation. Enslavers sometimes use trusted slaves to spread lies. For example, telling others that their freedom was coming soon, or that resistance would be futile or punished more harshly than it actually might be. These messages could be used to suppress rebellion or escape attempts. Three, informants and surveillance. Snitching. That's what they call it. That's that shit today, right? Uh, some enslaved people were coerced into becoming informants, spying on others and reporting plans for escape, rebellion, or resistance. Others may have done this to protect themselves or their families from punishment. It was very critical during those times too. You had a lot of traitors, and even to this day, you have a lot of traitors, right? Shit, Jake is willingly to betray their own people today. Women, children, etc. The old. Four, religious manipulations, and all Esau does is, you know, he uses these slaves and he pushes that one, the philosophies and a culture which is death. You're going to Revelation 17, Wisdom Solomon 14. Hold on, real quick. Shit on the charger. Yeah, he uses all these fake leaders and these sellouts and traitors of our people to pretty much make you love and forget about the atrocities, and they promote extravagant lifestyle. So you being oppressed, hurt, bad predicaments in the ghettos and the slums, favelas. Like for instance, they always use reggaeton artists, rap music, rap niggas, West Indian niggas, Jamaican artists, and uh, what is it? Different forms of uh, media outlets for our people to pretty much forget, cartoons, etc., to forget the fact that they're in captivity. Like for instance, they got this fucking this lottery. I think it's like what, almost $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken, out here. That shit pisses me off every time I hear about it. 'Cause to me, it's like, yo, why not just give everybody a fucking $1 million, right? It's not. I don't even think it's not even a billion fucking people in Virginia. Why not give, but we understand the system that we live in, but other people don't realize, they're just, the lottery money. Ooh, if I could get that, I could do this and I could do that, I could do this, right? But that, when nothing doesn't click in your head, you'd be like, yo, if Esau can give one person fucking almost $1 billion, I mean, what the fuck? Where's this money sitting at, man? That just shows you right there. This Edomite is a diabolical motherfucking nation, man. So, for religious manipulation, enslavers often allowed or promoted a version of Christianity that emphasized obedience and submission, right? Because this is one thing that these modern day niggas today use. They come in the form of God, or they come in entitlement of, they um, believe in God. God blessed them. God is with them. I want to give all thanks to God, Jesus, and they come in this form of religious outlook. And one thing they promote here in America is, if you in Christianity is if you love God, God is gain. That's what they push. Put prosperity doctrine. You know, um, and pretty much that doctrine goes into the darkness and the dark magic, sexual magic, etc. That's taking place of this society. So outward appearance, you would think, Oh man, because Lil Wayne dropped a, you know, he said all this witty shit, and I don't like that nigga, but he says all this witty shit in the droughts, whatever. Yeah, I see why he won. Nah. It was more than that. Nah, it was more than that. They sometimes had enslaved preachers deliver sermons that reinforced these ideas, selectively interpreting scripture to justify slavery and discourage rebellion. Yeah, that Christianity is a bitch, man. And one thing, Elder Kawakazawa just did a video about some Christian niggas, right? All these niggas is doing is just uplifting the so-called white man and worrying about the so-called white man. You just a traitor. That's all you are. You just can't let go of the so-called white man. Big basically, you can't put down the idols and the gods of the so-called white man. Ass kisses, right? Psychological divide and conquer, right? The system of slavery often worked by dividing people based on status, middle class, rich, the poor, ghettos, suburbs, skin tone. And one thing that comes right to my mind, one thing I didn't watch, I didn't grow up watching Martin, and one thing for sure, I remember seeing how they put and they emphasized, made that really big. They had with Martin and um, Gina. I think Gina was the light skinned one. They showed that dynamic. I always remember hearing light skin, red bones, etc. But then how they put what is it, Martin and Pam in the constant bickering. And I used to remember growing up seeing, how if a man was a dude with brown skin or dark, or another chick was brown or dark, they will always joke on each other. Then it says right here is colorism or proximity to the enslaver's household. House slaves, field slaves, skilled slaves, and others could be pitted against each other, creating internal divisions that weaken collective resistance, right? And that's what Esau does. That's why, he pretty much the school system pretty much keeps you divided as well, because you got certain jakes that, you know, really the school system is not for our people. We are a creative people, but with how the way the school teaches us is to keep us in either a house slave mindset, a field slave mindset. You have your skilled slaves and others. You just got your Jake is just wow, and all of this, the school system and this whole system is there and is being erected to pretty much just keep our people at odds, and they done a good job. They done a very good job. So that done with that, I'm gonna get a couple of scriptures and I'm gonna wrap it up. Colossians 2:8: Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, the vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shah. And we understand what Esau did was pretty much take our whole spirituality, our mindset, our what do you say, our physical. He basically destroyed it. He destroyed our mental state. He destroyed our spirituality state, and he put a new brain in there, which was what, deaf. Prone to serve idols and gods and philosophies, and that we had nothing to do. We had nothing to do with, right? Let me see. Proverbs 6:16. These 16 did the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. And those traders, they had haughty looks, right? They lied, and a lot of things came forth. A lot of bloodshed, etc., happened, right? A heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift into run into mischief. And a lot of our people did what? That fear that they were just worried about their family and themselves. A lot of our people did what? They thought they did what was right, but ultimately Esau didn't give a damn about you. He killed your ass too. Cause at the end of the day, who respects a traitor? If you will betray your own people, how the fuck the people that you betrayed, your people too, how could they trust you, right? A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren, right? And ultimately Esau had it that, our people will fall for this. And, our people fail to realize, it's a system. This system broke our people down, and our people don't realize, they're small minded and minute, right? So they still just think and see Trump, or you see the littlers. I would say like that, are the Edomites, but they don't really know what's really going on behind closed doors with Amalek and the elites. These people know who you really are. And you just looking at Donald Trump, but this whole system is geared to destroy you as a nation, right? Many years, many programming, many talks and sit down, Esau did to many generations, Esau put together, what is it, Psalm 64, um, let us come together, cut them off from being a nation. And also he has Psalm 64, if I'm not mistaken. Matthew 7:15, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are raven and wolves, because you have a lot of our people that do what? Come in the form of a leader, a prophet, he's sent from the Most High, or he's doing the Lord's work. And now you're just doing the so-called white man's work, right? To destroy your own people. Because a lot of our people have done what? Pierced themselves with many sorrows and sold out, right? Betrayed their own people. Let me see something. Romans 16:18, for they that are such serve not our Lord Hamashiach Yahushua, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speech to deceive the hearts of the simple. And one thing Esau knows is our people are simple as hell, emotional and irrational and irate. So it's easy to deceive our people. And one thing for sure, our people are prone to, you know, um, idolizing celebrities or anybody that get a lot of media attention, right? Or media coverage. Let me see. What the hell is this? Oh, bear with me one moment. Hold on. Oh, beautiful. Hold on. Let me get this real quick. Because we're definitely in these last days, right? Second Timothy 3:1. There's no also that even in the last days perilous times shall come, just like it was bad during slavery and after until even until this very day, right? Bad times were here. It was bad times then, and it's about to be even more bad times coming up, right? And even in the slavery, you had the same thing. So it said, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, and unholy." The majority of our people, the ones that's not, not of the elect, the 2/3, this is the outcome. This is what they have become. Blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, and holy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness. And a lot of these niggas that Esau advocates and put up there, they always act as if they have they're the Most High, or they love the Lord, right? But they're all ravening wolves. They're just some treacherous niggas that are playing and being played on, right? But denying the power thereof from such turn away. So, pretty much there you have it. I'm not gonna hold on, let me see. Yeah, betrayal of trust. A traitor is someone who abandons or violates trust, acting against the interests of their friends or allies, right? In a broader sense, a traitor is one who violates their allegiance and betrays their country or cause they are entrusted with, right? So a lot of our people are traitors for ransom. So hold on real quick. Let me get a couple more to end it. I thought I could find it, but it is what it is. Those who use that at 5, that would say shalom.